see, we're getting them started here. Ooh-wee. All right.
Those of us that indulge in or commit intellectual violence and do so for pleasure of mental masturbation or ego-digging. We do so because it changes the impression of people's minds are deep and difficult to remove.
Good morning, my children of the sun. Welcome to the Open Eye on WHGE 95.3 FM. I'm Patrice Gibbs, your third eye optometrist. Yes, indeed, we are here to get it started. Oh, I know, I'm a little late. But look, I'm your third eye optometrist. Anytime I get here, I'm on time. That might sound a little arrogant, but it is what it is. That's right. Welcome to the show. And yes, we are Facebook Live. Now, the first thing I got to get to, let me see. All right, it's not that. All right. Well, first of all, let me tell you this. Even though I know you can't wait for Saturday morning at 11 a.m. so you can hear your third eye optometrist. But hey, stay tuned, because at 12, Back to Greatness with Timeless Thomas. At 1, Make Some Intelligent Noise with your host, Rochelle Wilson. And no, this is the first Saturday, isn't it? No, this is the second Saturday. So Voices of Delaware Africa Coalition with your host, Dr. Kalichi Lawrence, and co-host Kevin Coleman. At 5, that's at 2 o'clock. At 5, we have the Week in Review. We have host Alan Lawrence, let you know what's going on here. And at 6, our illustrious leader, Mr. Harmon Carey, with Black History Facts and Reflections. Yes, indeed. Great programming right here on WHGE 95.3 FM, the education advocacy station. And if you got the nerve, if you're brave enough to do it while I'm on the air, feel free to give me a call at 844-944-3953. That's the in-studio phone number. More than welcome to come on in and show us what you got. All right. Now, of course, the Open Eye is brought to you by the Delaware Center for Homeless Vets, founders and builders of the Pearl Center, Delaware Center for Homeless Vets, changing veterans' lives all over Delaware.
The views and opinions expressed in Open Eye are those of the host, guests, and contributors, and do not reflect the policy or position of WHGE 95.3 FM nor our sponsor, the Delaware Center for Homeless Vets. Any conversation
I'm still with you. I'm still with you.
Are theirs,
All right.
not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, company, or individual.
WHGE 95.3 FM, the Open Eye. Soon I will be joined by my partner in consciousness, Brother Nsoromma. All right. Let me read a quote to you. Who I am, what I believe, and what I'm about. Family, I am a Pan-Africanist. I have been all my life, raised as such. I follow the teachings of such men and women as Marcus and Amy Jacques Garvey, Kwame Nkrumah, my namesake Patrice Lumumba, Chen Antadia, Kwame Ture, Brandon Stokely Carmichael, Malcolm X, Stephen Biko, Dr. John Henry Clark, Thomas Sankara, Walter Rodney, Peter Tosh, and numerous others. Pan-Africanism means different things to different people. For some, it implies the unification of Africa. But for me, it is more than that. Pan-Africanism is the global unity of black peoples of the world with Africa as the base. Call me a dreamer if you like. All great men and women are dreamers. So I dream and work for the global unity of all our people with Africa as the base and all of the power that goes with it. It may take many generations to achieve, but that is the goal we seek. Indeed, the harder and longer the struggle, the sweeter the victory. This does not mean that we ignore the plight of Africans in America or any other place. But that is only one phase and not the totality of the struggle. I am Pan-Africanist as chef. That was a quote from Runoko Rashidi, Dr. Runoko Rashidi, a brilliant scholar, researcher, and teacher. Unfortunately, Dr. Rashidi joined the ancestors this past week. And for those of you who don't know about him, by all means, look him up. Need some information on you. Runoko Rashidi was an anthropologist and historian with a major focus on what he called the global African presence. That is, Africans outside of Africa before and after enslavement. He is the author or editor of 22 books, the most recent of which is My Global Journeys in Search of the African Presence. Ashada, Garvey, and Me, A Global African Journey for Children in 2017, and The Black Image in Antiquity in 2019. His other works include Black Star, The African Presence in Early Europe, published by Books of Africa in London in November 2011, and The African Star Over Asia, The Black Presence in the East. And revised and reprinted in 2013, Uncovering the African Past, the Ivan Van Sertima papers published by Books of Africa in 2015. His other works include The African Presence in Early Asia, co-edited by Dr. Ivan Van Sertima. 4 of Runoko Rashidi's books have been published in French. As a traveler and researcher, Dr. Rashidi visited 124 countries. Some serious research. As a lecturer and presenter, he has spoken in 67 countries. Dr. Rashidi worked with and under some of the most distinguished scholars of the past half century, including, of course, Ivan Van Sertima, Dr. John Henrik Clark, Asa G. Hilliard, Edward Scovey, John G. Jackson, Jan Carew, and Yosef Van Yakano, better known as Dr. Ben. In October 1987, Rashidi inaugurated the first All India Dalit Writers Conference in Hyderabad, India. In 1999, he was the major keynote speaker at the International Reunion of African Family in Latin America in Barlavento, Venezuela. In 2015, Rashidi was awarded an honorary doctorate degree, his first by the Almen Ra Theological Seminary in Los Angeles. In August of 2010, he was first keynote speaker at the first Global Black Nationalities Conference in Osogbo, Nigeria. In December of 2010, he was president and first speaker of the Diaspora Forum at the Fiesman Conference in Dakar, Senegal. In 2018, he was named traveling ambassador to the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League, RC 2020. And for those of you who don't know what the Universal Negro Improvement Association is, it's founded by Marcus Garvey, another great Pan-Africanist, maybe the ultimate. In 2020, he was named the cultural and academic boards of the Pan. He was named to the curatorial and academic boards of the Pan-African Heritage Museum. At the time of his death, he was doing major research on the African presence in museums across the world. As a tour leader, he has taken groups to India, Australia, Fiji, Turkey, Jordan, Brazil, Egypt, Ghana, Togo, Benin, France, and the list goes on. Renoko Rashidi's major mission in life was to uplift African people, those at home, and those abroad. One of our great Pan-Africanists, Dr. Rashidi. Take a minute of silence for Dr. Rashidi. Nova and I, WHGE 95.3 FM. Hey.
The light ain't on.
It is? Nigga, put that mic thing on.
No mic.
My mic.
Alright. Go on, bro.
Wagwan. Oh, what's up?
I heard you put it in there, bro. Your phone.
WHGE 95.3 FM, the Open Eye. Right here on the Education Advocacy Station. You know, one of the things I got in a discussion with a good friend of mine yesterday, and one of the things that came up is been blessed to be a natural teacher. In the studio, Nsoromma, good morning, brother.
It's your boy.
How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? All right.
What's happening, homie? What's
This,
happening,
that, and
world?
the other, this, that, and the other.
Everybody good, I hope.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. Yes, indeed. You know, being a teacher, don't get that mixed. Don't get your ego caught up in it. Because no man can reveal anything to you but that which already lies half asleep in the dawning of your knowledge.
Right.
The teacher who walks in the shadow of the temple among his followers is not of his wisdom, but rather of his faith and lovingness. If he is indeed wise, he does not bid you to enter the house of his knowledge, but rather lead you to the threshold of your own knowledge. Yes, indeed. And that was, I don't know if you heard me mention Dr. Renoko Rashidi.
Yeah, I did.
Yes, indeed.
He went to over 67 states.
Well, he went to over 124 states doing research. He spoke in over
67.
67 countries.
Countries.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
It's
Now,
about what? It's about 95 countries.
there's
It's a lot of countries, huh?
There's a lot of countries.
Like, I know it's about almost 200.
Yeah.
197,
Something like that.
Yeah, that's
He hit a whole lot of them doing his
But
research.
did you know 95, 100, like most of them are sovereign?
Sovereign?
Sovereign countries?
Wouldn't you say that?
Sovereign states, sovereign countries.
Yeah, they have their own autonomy. They run their own country. Yeah, that's what it is. Something I got to address.
What?
Brother Slaughter, when we were discussing leadership, or my leadership last
Right.
week, one of the things that I contend is I don't call myself a leader. Okay?
But I mean, a lot of people that call themselves leaders aren't leaders. People make you the leader.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that.
So that's why I was telling you, like, yeah, I understand you don't call yourself a leader, but you are a leader.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, that's a title that's given to you by
the people.
Yeah.
By the people, and let me expand on that. So that's something. Yeah, I wrote a minute
Sergeant
ago.
Slud.
I got something else. Okay, what is a leader? What is a leader? A leader is one chosen by an organization, party, community, or people that's chosen, not declaring himself,
Right.
to exercise paramount but responsible authority over their endeavors, institutions, and economy. Leadership requires intelligence, integrity, compassion, strength of character, and a shrewd sense of observation and perception. I think I fill in on that, observation and perception. And let me say this. One of the things that Brother Slaughter stated was that I'm afraid.
You're afraid
Yeah.
of what?
Of being a leader. Because I know what happened to Malcolm and Martin. See, here's the thing. When I say I don't call myself a leader, this, that, and the other, and I put the point primarily to to Martin, because there are streets all over the country named after Martin. There are a few streets named after Malcolm, primarily in Harlem. Okay, Malcolm X Boulevard. You know, but
You know why they gave them streets to? You know why they really put the streets in effect, right?
What?
The names.
okay,
It's like a manipulation. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You'll rather have a. Okay, this is my question to you. Hold up, before I go further.
Mhm.
Would you rather have a name of a person that can help you on the street, or the person living themselves that can help you and get wisdom from at the age of 80, however old you
Right.
may be? Which one would you really
well,
want?
of course, I would rather have that person here
Of
with their
course,
wisdom and what
of
have
course.
Yeah.
And they know that.
Mhm.
So when they, whatever, assassinate us
Mhm.
or whatever, they put a
and name a street after.
street after
The
it.
pacifiers.
So, no, that another one won't grow up. Another one won't grow up in his place. They what you call it, mortalize them?
Yeah. Make them martyrs.
Yeah, they martyrs. They make their name martyrs so it couldn't be no one else to come behind.
To come behind them. How about that?
Ain't that
How about that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's serious.
yeah,
So
that is.
that's why you really don't see no little Malcolm X's, or no little Martin Luther Kings, and no little, Marcus Garveys. You don't see none of these
People of that
alone.
caliber.
Yes.
Right?
Like,
And
there's
I feel
supposed
you
to
on
be
that.
individuals coming behind them, talking just like them.
Right,
They can
right.
talk like these rappers. They can go imitate everybody else.
To a great extent, I
Or
agree with you.
historians. They can imitate everybody else, but we can imitate.
Right.
As the black people, everybody else. You can dance all around, jig, everything.
Yeah, twerking.
Preach. You can be a preacher and preaching lies and all
Well,
that.
let me tell you about being a preacher, okay? And this is another thing that came up. I'm gonna keep this little part short, all right? But look, if preachers posed any threat to the system, they would not be in a position to speak on anything.
I mean, the preachers are, okay, that's what they are.
Yeah.
I leave it like that. Everybody believe in their belief, you know what I'm saying? But if you look at hanging and look at killing like it's okay in any culture or any nationality, that's wrong, period.
Okay.
You know what I'm
You know what? Check it. I want to get to this, and then we're going to address the black church and what happened. This was a topic of conversation with my friend yesterday.
Right.
All right. Like I said, I'm not afraid of anything. I had never been. I was born a rebel and raised a revolutionary. Okay.
I'm afraid of one thing:
What's that?
the Creator.
Okay.
I'm afraid of the Creator. That's it.
You know what? I'm not afraid of the Creator because feeling that I'm a righteous man and I strive to live my life in balance, and being under his protection and looking around. And one of the things that my mother always reminded me of, and this is why I'm not afraid,
right?
Remember the blessings.
Oh, I mean, definitely.
Yeah.
But what I mean by being afraid of the Creator is the lightning, the storms, the things that you can't control. When it's a storm outside and it's really storming, and then you got that boom, bam, cows, that kind of stuff. That's when you're supposed to be scared. You know what I'm saying? Because that lightning can bang you upside your head for something that you know you done. You never know. You know what I'm saying? And that's
like
where,
I said, you know, I try to
to
strive for the balance.
right.
You know, and of course, in kinetic spirituality, when you stand in judgment, your heart is weighed against a feather. If your heart's heavier than that feather, you stand condemned. I have no heaviness in my heart. Okay, as I said, my name.
Right.
All right. My name is Patrice. I was named after Lumumba. For those of you that don't know, Patrice Lumumba was the first prime minister of the Republic of Congo. Patrice Lumumba, who Malcolm X said was the greatest man to walk the African continent. Lumumba was considered very dangerous, a Pan-Africanist. Now, he was assassinated in January of 1961 under orders of U.S. President Dwight D. Eisenhower. 2 months later, specifically March 29, 1961, write that down, Black nationalist, Pan-Africanist, third-generation Garveyite, Mrs. Jane Gibbs gave birth to her only son. I was named Patrice Frederick Gibbs. My name is a testament to the conscious environment in which I was raised, with no fear.
Right.
Now, like I said, one of the things that came up was the Black church.
Right.
The Black church was the incubator of the civil rights movement. The Black church was one of the few places during segregation and Jim Crow where blacks could gather in any number. Okay? And many of our churches at that time had what was called a liberation theology. The church I grew up in had a liberation theology.
Right.
They were not afraid to call themselves African. Okay? Now, like I said, they were the incubator of the civil rights movement. Many of our great leaders during the civil rights movement came out of the Black church. There are two names, of course, stand out: Adam Clayton Powell Jr. and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. These both were men that came out of the Black church. What happened? What happened? Okay, I'm going to tell you what happened. They sold out. That's what happened. They sold out. Ministers, congregations, and all, they sold out. And
I mean, sometimes you know how a strong arm. A lot of the foreigners that came and the white people that came, they were strong arming, and they were strong arming us as blacks. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a lot of times how it went. You want me to kill everybody in your family, from your little 2-year-old daughter all the way up to your wife, or you want to go along with this program right here? And you know, and it's like, it's so, when you forced into a decision, you know what I'm saying? It depends on your heart. Like,
well, you know what? And I hear what you're saying, but guess what? That was few and far between. Many of these were, like I said, it was the incubator. And many of them were brave enough to say, okay, whatever it is you're going to bring it. Here's when it really happened, and it was really late in our history that you know, this selling out really destroyed the voice of the Black church. And that was under George H.W. Bush, or was it George W. Bush? With the faith-based, no, I think it was the son, with the faith-based initiative grants. And what that meant was these churches could get these federal grants, you know, from the government, or what have you,
as long as they shut up. And that's what many of them did. They took the money and they shut up. All right? And that's when you got things like, and you heard me mention this before, Deacon Chicken Wing over at the damn bank with a police escort because they done collected up so much money. Now, what also happened was many of these churches went from a liberation theology to what they call a prosperity theology. All right? And this is, you have these ministers up here, you know, collecting all this money. It's a church in right here in Delaware, Newcastle County. There, I don't know the name of the church offhand, so I ain't gonna call them right now. All right, it's a beautiful building. Okay, the parking lot holds 100 cars or whatever. Right. Okay. Right. They have parking attendants. They have security in the parking lot and in the church. All right, they doing it. Money coming in. Okay. However, to be a member of this church, you have to submit your financial records. What kind of crap is that? I almost said some simple stuff just now.
I know. I mean, they want to know how much you're making, so they can tell God that you got this much. He got this much, so we're going to give him this much blessings. What is the reason for that? Yeah. That's just like, what's the reason for this shot? If it's not healing you, if this vaccine is not healing you or whatever, why are you taking it? It has nothing to do with whatever is going on. And it's not curing it. And people that take the shot still get it. So what's the purpose of the shot? I mean, that's the same aspect. You know what I'm saying? That's on the same... No, that's crazy.
Now, here's the thing, all right? These ministers get up and, you know, it's, you know, you got to give to the church 10% of your money, tithes and all that, you know. But when someone in the congregation is in some trouble, they can't pay their electric bill or they can't pay their rent, what's the minister tell them?
It's a problem. The church ain't got no money, sorry. We can't help
you. Need to pray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and
now, this is crazy.
Man.
Yeah.
That's the injustice that I'm talking.
That's right.
That gets under my skin, like
I heard that.
All of that.
Now the crazy thing is, this is so with so many black churches. Right. They ain't giving you a damn thing, and they will advise you to go to Catholic Charities or Ministry of Caring, two well-known charitable organizations run by white people. We got all this money coming in our community, in our churches, to the extent that we can build these beautiful buildings, but we can't support the people in the community.
Yes, and that's terrible. Man.
That is. Yes, it is. You know what I'm saying?
What is the remedy to that? What is the one of the roots of a path to make the change and make the difference of, you know, what do we get out there and go start knocking on the doors and demanding money from these churches and these organizations that's accepting our money or stealing our money, or however you want to say it, and we go knocking on their doors telling them, look, this school needs 150 computers so they can keep up with Asia. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And what do we have to do? Do we have to form organizations to make this happen, come up with committees to make sure that it does happen? I mean...
Yeah, well, you know what? What we do is what we do. The first thing we do is what we're doing right now is call them out on that crap.
Oh, yeah, most definitely talking about it. It's the first key.
That's the first step. The second step in that is to get the people to understand that your church is helping finance your oppression. And you need to step up and step up to the so-called leadership in your church.
That's why people don't go to church no more.
That's right.
And
you know that was part of the discussion I had yesterday.
And then the church get this invisible money. They get this invisible money to keep their doors open, and they don't even have one member in the congregation. And I mean, they got it.
Yeah.
Messy. It's messy, man.
major messy.
Wow.
I mean, you just think, like, you know, you got a grandmother
Right.
that's been attending this church for 50 years, paying her time.
Right.
Okay? And then her rent is due. You know? Or she owns a house.
No.
And listen now.
Say the realness. Say the realness.
Yeah.
Say she's not able to take care of herself. She needs a
The
nurse
people need to understand.
in her house.
Right? Okay? She owns a house that is in ill repair.
Oh,
Now, what do you
okay.
do when you own a house, you paid up your mortgages, you go get another mortgage, you get a loan, and fix up your house.
Yeah. Sometimes
Grandma go to the bank,
they won't give it to
they
her.
won't give it to
That's
her.
right.
And it's the same bank that your church is depositing their money in.
And that she had over 30 years taking care of, paying her mortgage
time.
to. And that's what I'm saying. They
Right.
look at these people and they look at these people as victims. They attack these type of
Mm-hmm. The point is this, though.
man.
The point is this. To our people,
Right.
stop financing your own damn oppression. Whether it's through the church, whether it's through some of these BS organizations that claim they're working for you, and then you see the leader of that organization buying up a lot of property and driving a big ass car. And ain't nothing changed in your community.
Mm-hmm.
Stop financing your own oppression. You know, I hear a lot of women say, I'm going natural with my hair. No, your hair is natural. So stop going down to the Asian beauty supply store and buying $1,000 worth of fake hair and participating in
You got electric bill
financing.
that's due.
Yeah.
You spend
Stop it.
$1,000 on your hair and
Mhm.
not on your lights. Just
Right.
Keep your refrigerator cool. Keep all your stuff in
Or on your
I mean,
child's education.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's been designed. You know that.
Mhm.
You know the morals of our
Society.
yes has structured that to make it so. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
so that you're more interested in material things
yeah,
instead of
and
being
nothing.
interested in growing.
Nothing. The material things is really nothing.
Mhm.
You know, it's understanding that blessings come from giving, and
Mm.
they can't take that away. That's something that is in a planetarian thing, like the sun go around the earth. That's something that they can't stop. You see what I'm saying? So
I do.
once you find in yourself to be kind and start helping and start pushing for a better everything in this world,
Mhm.
that's when the change will come, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel sorry for seeing you in an unfortunate position. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
In a rough
I'll
situation.
Be right. I'll be wanting to. What can I do? How can I help my man?
Mhm.
You know, that's what we need.
Yeah.
That's the
Mhm.
the society that needs to be built, even
Mhm.
if it's just among us. But
Mhm.
they ain't doing it for us. You got the Karens that call the police on you. You got police jump out the car that's racist, just jump out and kill you.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a lot that we have to deal with because we're the pointed at ones to come get.
You know, it was what's really interesting,
What?
right? And what you said, what's really interesting is you got to consider what the European has done. Murdered the Indian to the point of genocide, enslaved black people, right? Terrorized black communities for over 100 years and is still participating in the terrorism of our people, okay? But they have convinced the world that it's black people that are violent, all right? We are not by nature a violent people and never have been, okay? Let me tell you about this because this is so deep, okay? And I've mentioned this before. I taught on this before. The African, before he met the European, okay, lived in a land of plenty where hunger and survival were not an issue. So we had no ideal of competition to survive. As a matter of fact, we live by the law of Ubuntu. Now, for those of you that don't understand what Ubuntu is, all right,
group of African children in a village taught an anthropologist from Europe what that means.
Okay.
He coming from this competitive mindset and culture,
Right.
tried to bring that to this village. So what he did was he got a big basket of fruit and he put it at the end of the field. And the kids at the other end of the field, he said, look, we're going to have a race. Whoever wins the race gets the whole basket of fruit.
Right.
Okay? Now, in a society where there is competition for survival and to fill your belly, those kids would have took off and the first one up there would have got that basket of fruit.
Right.
But in a situation where Ubuntu is prevalent in the culture, what these kids did was they joined hands and all ran together and they all won.
Right.
I am because we are. Right. That's what Ubuntu means.
Right.
We are each and every one of us responsible for each other.
Right.
See, in Europe, in ancient Europe, before they came to the Americas or to Africa and what have you.
Right.
Okay. The growing season was very short. So food was not in great supply. So there was competition for survival. And that's what they brought with them when they met people outside of their societies. Because within their societies, they were very competitive just to survive. When they got outside the society, they brought that mindset with them. Fast forward to now. Unfortunately, many of our people have fed into that individuality and that competition, not only for survival, but even socially. Because many of us, okay, to feed our egos, will bring that idea of competition in places where it don't belong.
Right.
You know? And bring it in places where, like I said, where it doesn't belong. You know? And that is damaging to our people.
Especially our kids.
Especially our children.
Of course. I mean,
especially our children. I'm not talking about
competitive.
Right.
Whatever you do.
Yeah. You know, and I'm not talking about sports or athletics and what have you.
Writing.
Right.
Writing on the paper. My writing look better than yours. That's,
right.
I mean, that's what is happening.
That's what's happening.
Yes,
you know?
That's what's happening.
I like the way my man David Banner broke some of this down. All right. For those of you who don't know, hip hop artist and activist David Banner.
Right.
All right. Hell of a brother.
What's up, Drew?
David Banner said some of our people didn't do their job. When blacks from the South migrated north and got some economic parity with the society and some education, they were supposed to bring that back or bring people up there and teach them that.
Yeah.
Instead, what they did was they got up on the high horse and said, man, I'm almost like a white man. And you don't speak English well, black man, or N-word. You know? Putting down their own people. You didn't do your job. You sold the hell out. And you didn't bring the lessons that you learned forth. And then when some of us did come up north, you felt threatened because you were competitive and you got your goddamn ego mixed up in there. Out here talking about participating. And people don't Now, here's the thing with this system that needs to be redesigned. 52% of young adults, and this is crazy, now live with their parents. 50 young adults. It's the highest rate ever, surpassing even the Great Depression. The most educated and most in-debt generation in history did everything they were supposed to do. And this is what they got. The system is messed up. And some of y'all get up off that racism and that silliness and realize that you're often voting against your own best interest, and that some of you black people do that too. See? I'm Patrice Gibbs.
I'm Nsoromma.
This is
The Open Eye Radio Show. WHGE 95.3 FM. You dig? Yeah. What's up, Sherry? Nika? What's up? Hey, y'all, ain't making no noise. Yo, y'all in the morning radio. I can't even call you back. I'm like, yo, make it happen. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Hey, yo, ain't we supposed to be doing something too this weekend? Ain't supposed to be a concert, a show or something?
the Clifford Brown Festival.
The Clifford Brown Festival going on. Yeah, that's what y'all got to do. Come to Delaware, check out the Clifford Brown Festival, and enjoy yourself with the foods and music, and enjoy the people. You know what I'm saying? For real. Let's go. Oh yeah, and y'all can call in too. 844-944-3953. 844-944-3953. Hit us up. Talk to us. We accepting all phone calls, all questions. We ain't playing. We making it happen. You did? You a veteran, you struggling, hit us up too. I mean, yo, y'all gotta start utilizing us and stop. Yo,
We're here to help you.
we here to help y'all. Come on now. That's what our people do. Don't see it. So you better come on and jump on it and get on it and get where you fit in and become a part of it. You know what I'm saying?
That's word.
It's for you, yo.
Yo, just hit us up. WHGE 95.3 FM.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed, sponsored by ECHD, Delaware Center for Homeless Vets, changing veterans' lives all over Delaware. You know, we're going to get to it on a special series, this critical race theory thing.
Right.
But the crazy is they're making all these laws all over school districts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
What kind of laws?
the laws to keep from teaching history of the true history of America.
The true history of America. What do you mean exactly?
Well, the history of racism in America, the history of oppression in America. They don't want that mentioned. Who George Washington really was. How Abraham Lincoln really thought about black people. The fact that FDR, considered, even by myself, one of the greatest presidents ever and greatest president of the 20th century, was also a racist whose administration implemented redlining, which kept black people from buying homes and developing generational wealth.
So that's what they trying to hide.
That's what they're trying to hide.
All right. When you try to hide that too?
Well, can you imagine being so ashamed of your history that you make it illegal to even teach it?
But yet you try to say we have the right, the freedom of speech and the freedom to learn whatever it is that we can. How are you going to stop us from learning things?
Right.
How are you going to put a limitation on us learning things as a human? As a human, you'll want to better yourself anyway, to become a better and broad, respectable human being anyway.
Right.
So, and you trying to, I mean,
That-
that's
but
all part of
people
it.
are outlaw.
This is not Hitler,
No.
but they trying to make it like
Yeah,
that.
because, you know, a lot of these people are fascist-minded.
Wow.
You know? Which is why, you know, I speak about Egyptian history. Why respect the Egyptians, you know, or the people of Kemet,
Kemet.
okay? Why I respect them so much? Because they were great recorders of their history, good and bad.
Right.
That's what
So you
they
got
kept it real.
right, man.
You know?
When you just get one side washed, it's thinking all this is this all the whole time, and it's really a whole nother side to it. Yeah, you definitely would be messed up. But it's time for you to, you know. And that's what they do. That's the setup of it.
That's what it is. And, you know, I know y'all see me on Facebook Live flipping through my papers. I'm looking for something in specific.
You
but-
got the paper sweet.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you know, we do the research around here now. That's weird. But I'm going to bust somebody up. And I bring my
Oh,
notes
you gonna
on.
bust somebody up?
Yeah, I'm going on somebody's head right now.
Okay.
Okay. Now, y'all notice Nobody replied to stop Asian hate would stop all hate. Like they do, like, you know, Black Lives Matter, and then they come back and say all lives matter.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. Yo, ain't you tired of that, man?
Yeah.
Really? I mean, this is beginning to be nerve-wracking. You know how a fly just keeps being around you, just want to swipe it?
Mm-hmm.
That's how we got to respond, man.
That's how we got to respond. Because if racists...
I tell you that all the time. That's how we got to respond.
Yep.
They come up talking that, stretch them out, stretch them out.
Stretch them out.
That's right.
I ain't got no problem with it. Because I'm like this, right? When you come up to me with some racist crap, I go to 0 to 150,000.
I don't call it racist. It's not racist. It's terrorist. You're a terrorist to me.
Yeah,
that is terrorism, period.
Mm-hmm.
And I respond to terrorism with destruction.
I heard
You
that.
understand? And that's the way you have to respond. Because they don't understand anything else. They'll come in with a bomb strapped on them to blow everyone out.
How about that?
So you have to understand what a terrorist is. They'll rather kill you and them to get their point across.
Right. Or to let you advance.
Right. Or not let you advance.
Or not let you advance. Because look,
man,
if racists are kneeling on necks in broad daylight, imagine what they are doing
in the dark.
Yeah. Or in human resources department.
Oh man, wow.
Or in classroom. Or in medical offices.
Yeah.
We know it's bigger than the police.
Oh.
In medical offices. A report just came out. You know, it's crazy when these reports come out telling something that we already knew. All right? And that is, if you, as a patient, have a white doctor, as a black patient,
right,
the likelihood that you will die in that situation is much greater than if you had a black doctor. Okay? These white doctors don't even think that black people feel pain the same way as white people do. And this is historic in the medical community. And it's still going on.
Right, you know, they use black people as guinea pigs anyway.
Yeah.
To learn their craft.
That's
what
right.
I'm saying? So,
that's right. And you know what? A big part of our problem is that we don't understand our value. See, if you weren't so valuable and didn't have the potential to be so powerful, the world would not be so hell-bent on exterminating your very existence. I said it last week. I said it to my friend on the phone, and I'm going to say it again. But it's not about freedom and liberation anymore. It's about survival. If you don't understand that, you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, Africa. Oh my goodness. Africa, for one thing, is the only continent that is anchored to the earth. The rest of those continents are floaters. Tells you a lot.
Right. I mean, that's like you just said something. Understanding your value. Right? Now, if you've been in the dark so long that you don't even know what the word value means, okay? How do you recognize value?
Yeah, that's a damn good question, bro.
You understand?
Yeah.
And
how do you recognize?
That's how they have a hold on us. They have us so distorted that we don't know the meaning of some of the words that we use on this show and how deep the words
actually are.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where that's where their hold is at. If we don't know the value of our work, we don't care what happens. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it is. And hustling. If you was to go get the milk, and the milk over here is $2, and then you can go up here and you can get it down here for 75 cents. You're gonna go get the milk for 75 cents and take it up here and sell it for $2 as a flip. And the people don't know that. They just paying for the milk. They just going along with it.
Yep.
And that's what we doing in this society.
Right.
We have to find our meaning, the meanings of the words that are used, and understand
the value.
Right.
You know, and what is, see, that's another thing. What is valuable?
Right. And what's valuable?
Because I see a billionaire, he got on khakis, beat up sneakers, and a t-shirt. And I see somebody living paycheck to paycheck, and they got on $300 sneakers. No wonder you get so damn upset somebody step on your $300 sneakers. Because you can pay half your paycheck on that, right? And then your electric bill come, and it's in the yellow envelope.
Yo, what's more valuable? Money or knowledge? You know how many people say money? You probably said money, listening to us right now. But money is not more valuable than knowledge.
That's what it is.
Understand that. Knowledge will get you money.
That's it.
So there's no comparison. Understand? And that's what we have to start teaching our kids. It's not about that pretty car. It's not about the Gucci socks. It's not about the material things that this live vision is forcing into your brain. It's the knowledge.
Right. Oh, I got to get back to Africa.
Africa.
Okay. Little history lesson here. All right. In 1884, 13 European nations shamelessly gathered in Berlin to parcel out the African continent like famished school children on a school trip, haphazardly dividing up a pizza. Great Britain was represented by Sir Edward Mallet, ambassador to the German Empire. The U.S., the emerging but reluctant superpower, had a delegate, the explorer Henry Morton Stanley. In utter disregard and with not a single iota of conscience or concern for the culture or the families of the African continent, the map was redrawn and lands claimed. What followed was the systematic scramble and undoing of Africa. Resistance was met with the brutal force of gunpowder. The Hero massacre was the first genocide of the 20th century. Tens of thousands of men, women, and children were shot, starved, and tortured to death by German troops as they put down so-called rebellions. How you having a rebellion on your own damn land?
I'm fighting you to keep you out of my house.
Out of my house.
I'm rebel.
But you rebel.
Yeah, right. That's what they say.
Yeah. You know? Now, here's the thing. Africa always has been and still is the world's richest continent.
It'll always be the world's richest continent.
Indeed.
Because the Creator has made that.
Right.
It's the only continent that's connected to the planet.
To the planet. That's
you
right.
understand?
As I stated earlier.
They know that, but how many other people don't know that's black that know that? That's not a lot.
And don't know this. Well, Africa has always had things other people wanted and couldn't do without. Because your cell phone has cobalt in it.
Yeah.
Can't do without it. All right.
All the stuff for the space program was up in Africa.
Right. All the resources, minerals, and what have you. And these people want it, but they don't want to pay for it.
China is right now on an invading Africa right
they
now.
Are. They're colonizers over there.
Most definitely, man. They know where it is, and they know that we don't have any guns. We don't have any state-of-the-art weaponry, but we do that. We do. They underestimate.
But here's what we lack in Africa, which is what we lack here. See, we are a microcosm of Africa. We lack organized unity. That's what we lack. That is what we lack. You know? Jesus, we just after 12 o'clock, bro. But let me say this. So, let me say that Africa, like I said, has things that people can't live without, but no one cares to pay for it.
Right, they just go over there and take it.
Yeah.
We don't go to the supermarket and take that.
Unfortunately, so-called African leaders sell the people out.
Oh, they always do that because they greed. Greed. Greed.
Greed, bro.
Greed.
That's word.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's why I try not to be greedy. I try not to eat greedy. I try not to do nothing greedy, man. That'll mess up your core, man.
That it will.
Yeah.
They will have you jammed up.
Greed is terrible. Envy, terrible. All of them, all the words that carries weight that they seem to have like infested. You know, they infested with like these words. Envy, greed, hatred.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All the serious words, they infested with them. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're dealing with.
And that's what we're dealing with.
Man.
That's what we're doing. Where we've been. The great tragedy of the black man the world over is the height from which he's fallen.
Right.
Yes, I said fallen, not pulled down.
Right.
Okay? Now, it is said man fears time, but time fears only the pyramid. The pyramids have stood for thousands and thousands of years. When the black man of ancient Africa built something to last, the pyramids are still here. When they built something to last, look, the pyramids are architectural wonder. Modern man with all his technological advances can neither figure out how they were built or how to build anything that will last as long. Understand that. That's where we were. Where are we headed? The way we're allowing our children to be miseducated, our infant mortality rate, our lack of adequate health care, our high crime rate, our disproportionately high prison population, our casualties in the drug wars, our lack of leadership. Damn, at the rate we're going, there is not going to be any weed to be hidden anywhere.
And that's what they want.
And that's what they want. But what we need to do,
What's that, brother?
is adopt organized unity. We hear people talk about unity all the time. But we can get together and party all we want. That's unity.
That's what they want.
But if it's not organized unity, it don't mean a damn thing. You know, I often tell y'all that our history shows us that the vast African empire, the vast African family, broke up into hundreds of separate groups. Like I said, we are a direct reflection of our brothers and sisters in the motherland. We got the NAACP, the SCLC, SNCC, CORE, the Nation of Islam,
Right.
Baptist, Methodist, Christian, Muslim, and so on and so forth. That's why Dr. Chancellor Williams, who is the author of Destruction of Black Civilization, suggests that this message that we bring to y'all be presented primarily to African Americans, because we are in the best position to show the motherland we are organized unity to take the black man out of the abyss of oppression into the future of progressive revolution. I'm Patrice.
I'm Nsoromma. Open Eye Radio Show.
And as I always tell you, destiny determines who enters your life, but you decide who stays. Therefore, value those who value you, and don't treat those as a priority who treat you as an option. Yaga! WHGE 95.3 FM.
Thank you very much. Lorraine, what's good? Vaughn. Hey, yo, you came in late, baby boy. You know, Thomas on next. You know, it's program slot. You know what I mean? Yo. Hey, yo, Jan, I hit you up right after this, yo. You know what I'm saying? I see what's good. And yo, as you know, I'm Nsoromma. I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in to the Open Eye Radio Show, WHGE 95.3, and my man Patrice Gibbs, Facebook. You dig what I'm saying? And this is what we doing. And yo, Pat, you want to say something?
Yes, indeed. Thanks for joining us. Hope you learned something. And when I post this up, don't forget to share it, because I post this up on YouTube. Don't forget to share it so you can review it. You might want to listen to us twice. We that nice.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Call us.